bro fists to you all, for Friday has dawned on us one more time, my friends, as we come to one of the final drama times that will take place in our setting here in front of the green screen and doing all this stuff, because we are moving in just a couple of weeks. And what a momentous week it has been. To all our guests here from Eorzea or Azeroth or whichever home planet you call home, we have come to the end of the Shadowbringers MSQ. I cried twice today. Count it. Twice I cried, adding to a grand total of 3 times in my entire life that a video game has brought a tear to my eye. I did not weep openly, but the water was there. The salty tears did arrive in good times. Much to the expectations, I believe, of our wonderful audience as it happened. Feel strong. The other game was a game called Rime that we played probably 2 years ago now. That got yet I also cried. It was a very emotional day. It has taken its toll. My brain is weary and fuzzy. Oh god, it was a whole adventure. It was a whole adventure that went on. But yes, well worth it. It now has qualified as the best RPG story I have ever taken part in a video game, for sure, and the best use of the medium of video games in order to tell a story I've ever seen. I can't wait to literally sit down and, I know as lame as it sounds, but to actually kind of let out the dust settle mentally as to what's happened today. The Free Company is ready for drama. What is this? Is this happening right now? This is amazing. So the FF Free Company currently has a theater inside their room. As you can see here, where they're watching drama. They have a theater inside one of their rooms that is broadcasting drama time to them. That's something you don't see in many other games at all, but that is happening right now. You're a wonderful bunch of people. There are new guests. What is drama time? Welcome. Well, for the last few years, every Friday we like to finish the streaming week with a simple thing, is that across the internet there is many anonymous people. We don't know who they are. We spend our days, we spend our nights with these people, but we don't really know what's in their minds, what's in their souls. And every now and again, due to the power of anonymity, they reveal themselves, sometimes in a fun and interesting way, sometimes in a dark and twisted way, sometimes in a lovely, nice way, and sometimes in a way that may raise many red flags for you. And Drama Time was that goal, especially during my World of Warcraft days, of letting people know of things that maybe this is happening to you, and maybe you should be a bit more aware. And it has, over the years, protected literally hundreds of thousands of people from being trapped in horrible situations. But we encourage you all to send your tales in. We have a simple email. This is drama@preachgaming.com. Or you can go to our website, preachgaming.com, where you can not only find every drama story we've ever done, including some tags if you're looking for particular styles of stories, but also to submit your own and be a part of the experience. That is what we encourage. So I have one that's been recommended here about a free company guild, a guild leader, who's doing his best to be fun. Now, I kind of get office vibes from this. Whether this person is somebody who is going to go really, really far to be Mr. Popular. Mr. Popular. We'll see. We'll see. A bench too far. Yes. I'm sure we've all encountered these guys who are desperate to give us the most fun experience we possibly can. And sometimes it's my guess. Anyway, I don't know where this story goes. All our stories are vetted by wonderful Bex in the chat right now, who reads through these for me so I can go in completely blind and enjoy the experience along with you guys. It is a wonderful thing. It's me, your fun teacher. You're not having fun in the right way. So, let's dive in and see what's happening. Let's dive in. A pleasant good evening to you, Preacher, and all the wonderful folks of the jury. I have a bit of a tale to tell to you of how I tried to push for a free company in Final Fantasy XIV to be revived from solo hosting and running community events, how we spent a late night evening playing a roleplay volleyball game with courtesans, from sorting out a roleplay cafe venue and running a week-long RP vacation at the Costa del Sol. and how the final nail in the coffin was because I wanted a piece of garden furniture moved. As a disclaimer, this was 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember every single detail, but I'm sure you will get the gist. Okay. It all began, as these things often do, when I returned to Final Fantasy XIV, after a long hiatus to work on my mental and physical health. I was in my mid-20s at this point, but that isn't really relevant. I don't even know why I wrote it. Either way, I returned to the game amidst a big, out-of-character / RP drama. I couldn't even tell you what was happening. I didn't care to make that drama my business. All I could tell you is the current leader was stepping down due to pressure from the other members of the Free Company due to her doing some questionable things. What were they? I never asked. But she was always lovely to me, so whatever. In all my returning to the game, more mature Glory was put forward as a potential officer replacement candidate. I gladly accepted. The narcissist in me gawked at the officer rank. I wanted that shiny rank. Inside me, I wanted to lord it over other people. But we don't do that. No one should do that. Spending time in officer positions teaches you one thing. Even if you're an officer, it doesn't mean shit to others in the Free Company if you don't foster respect. Especially after 75% of the guild goes on an exodus, leaving a bare-bones crew and about 5 active members who still play after the current leader quits and everyone is burnt out from the drama that I return to. So there I am. Back from my big break. Bright-eyed, refreshed, bushy-tailed, raring to go. Getting things in this Free Company rolling again. It'll be as good as it was. Make FF great again. While in hindsight, I realize now that everyone around me was absolutely sick to death of everything. So what to do? What do we even do in this scenario? What can I, as an officer, do to push this guild forward? So we sit on it for a bit. We do some idle adventures, little role plays, go to other events, get to know each other better in character and out. So, in total, as I said, there are 5 of us. 5 people. Lodge, a wonderful and fun, caring person who honestly didn't deserve anything bad to happen to her, the current leader. Myself, an officer. Mitchell, who by my reckoning was a bit of a weirdo. You know what I mean. We do. Only after one conversation with Mitchell did I figure that he was creepy. A creepy uncle figure. He was always hugging people. Handing out cookies when you walked by. Spamming emotes in the chat. I wonder. Honestly, freaked me out a little bit. There was Batch. A nice old package deal with Mitchell due to their roleplay story. They were tight-knit, and she always had something negative to say about everything. And was, and I'll put it this way, very outspoken about her feelings. They were the straight guy. Not sexually, but the straight man, straight as an arrow, the straightest guy you'll ever meet. Didn't really make jokes. They were against any kind of jokes or talk of drinking or drugs. But he was nice and no one could dislike him. And this is our regular team. Usually online and playing the game together. The first thing I try, something simple. Let's warm it up. A roleplay cafe. They're quite popular. I've never been to one of these. People seem to enjoy them. We could possibly draw some people into our Free Company, maybe. Bring some attention to ourselves as a group who puts events on. Get fresh life, motivation for people to get involved. You know what the hardest thing to do in any leadership position is, Mike? Or any officer position that involves other people? Getting them to actually fucking do something. Motivating other people over the internet to do literally anything beyond what they personally want to do is the most pain in the balls activity in the world, bar tasing them. But I did it. Oh my god. My first step was to make a Free Company Tumblr account. Step 1, make a Tumblr account. Okay, sure. I mean, it's not my step 1, but, you know, whichever way you want to go is whichever way you want to go. I made us a Tumblr. I made a menu. I put us on an RP calendar. And we had people show up the first week, then the second week, then the week after. Then people stopped coming. Stormblood released. We never made the cafe again. But still to this day, I think it wasn't a complete failure. We did some stuff. As with all things, time passed. Stormblood was moving on. We do the main story quest, we do the content, we gear up. We do more content. Eventually, though, as always in any MMO, the content runs dry. We're waiting for a patch to drop, so I wonder, what else can we do now? Tensions are a little high. We're starting to notice we don't really like each other. We don't all get along. And since it's the middle of summer, I had a grand idea. What if we would take Free Company roleplay vacations every couple of months? We'll go to a location not really visited much and we'll stay there for a week and we'll do a little roleplay there. You know, we'll have some fun in different environments. See if anyone wants to join us. We'll RP with people who might be passing by while we chill on the beach. We'll prepare games and events that we could do every day. So I do it. I put it all together. I make a little schedule. I sit down and I plan out games. I plan out events so that we had something to do every single day of the week. Day 1. Goes well. People take part. People are enjoying themselves. The second day, all the tension that we'd all been feeling towards each other in the Free Company is ebbing away a bit. The third day, people are lazy now. Unmotivated. They can't be asked to play any of the game ideas I have. I have to start moaning and physically drag them to play a game where we throw a ball to each other and ask truths of each other. Jesus, I'm not playing that. No, man. No way. No way. That's an icebreaker. That's a day 1 game. I'm not doing that. The fourth day. Now I'm unmotivated by how unmotivated and so against everything else and so against everything these people are. It's tiring. I'm trying to put together dumb fun. Organized dumb fun. And they can't be asked. Whatever. I don't think we lasted the whole week before we're just back in our Free Company house. Some time passes. A failed second vacation to the Gold Saucer passes. And hey, at least summer is almost over. So I decide, why don't we do a summer event on the beach and invite people from around the server? I had come up with an actually really fun game to play in RP that was a mix of volleyball and dodgeball. I could see it being played in reels. I set it up, I made a poster, I put it on Tumblr, I put the date up, and I send a request to the roleplay calendar. It goes up the next day. We're all set, ladies and gents. I arrived to set up my event, and it turns out there's another Free Company having an event in the spot I had chosen. Are you for real? What the fuck? Well, this is my spot. I don't know how serious is the RP calendar. Is it like beholden? You like beholden or what? You got a bucket? Didn't secure the lease? It's my spot. But these guys aren't taking their roleplay in a more wholesome manner. They're doing a drinking event. Mine is a beach activities event. So I speak to them. And we merge the two together. They seem like they're having fun. The people from both events turn up and they have a drink before we all come down to play a round of my made-up game. It goes great. But after this, it kind of died down. The beach quietens. I believe we did a sandcastle building competition where people would creatively come up with sandcastles to build. And it was honestly enjoyable to read some of the descriptions. One of them drew a picture, which I saved for you. Okay, dude. What is this? Oh, that's magnificent. It really is. That's really good. Oh, round of applause. Come on now, we got a picture. Wait, so am I getting this right? Your sandcastle competition is somebody just describing a sandcastle to you? Is that what it is? I would build a Talos. I would. Big one. Is that the sandcastle competition? You sit around and you describe sandcastles? Not my kind of RP, let's put it that way. Not my kind of RP. Okay. He was so proud of his picture. But then it really quietens down. No one else turns up. I stick around for a little with my free company mates while we chill on the beach. I then get a message. Hey mate, our free company event will be ending soon. Can we come and spend some time with you guys? This is what I've been waiting for. People who want to join in with us. I'm like, sure. I can keep it going till then. I'd love to host another game for you. A couple of hours of uneventful, quite depressing beach roleplay with my free company happens. A couple of hours? What the fuck? We really realize we do not get along. Well, I get along with Lodge. With Mitchell and Batch constantly bickering with me because I dare push for events. Try to motivate them to do more. But all Mitchell seems interested in is dating our free company leader in character as some kind of replacement for a real love interest. He later finds a real-life girlfriend and suddenly stops being interested in Lodge. Shock horror. Who could have seen that coming? He's still creeping me out, though, by handing out cookies. I just start calling him Creepy Uncle to Lodge. But then, as they promised, the other free company turns up. My saviors of the night. I have kept this party dragging on like a long funeral, but now it's going to pop off. And it's the biggest brothel on the data center at the time. I don't mind. Sure, I'll hang out with the ladies. Could be fun. It turns out they're pretty nice people. Turns out they're pretty chill people. We set up my game, fair teams, and we begin playing. The ball flying this way and that. I smash the ball into a guy's face and make remarks about him not used to taking balls in the face. Ha ha ha. And our night eventually ends. And I get an invitation to the free company for an all expenses paid full service for one night of my choosing. I mean, why wouldn't I go to a brothel for free and get everything I want? Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no. It was after this event where things start going downhill. It's been a pretty downwards trend in motivation and mood. Constantly being rebuked for everything I try to do. Having all my ideas shot down. Being unwilling to get involved with things I do to try and help the free company. And we decide to redecorate the house some as something to do. And the garden as well. Let's work on that as a team. Mitchell and Batch are given officer roles so they can help out. Now forgive the tangent, though I think Batch had it earlier than this since there was only 5 of us. Lodge just started handing out officer roles to the active group. I wasn't happy about this since they had a history of actively and very verbosely moaning about everything I tried to do. Do you feel you've got a control issue? I'm just saying, it comes across, you wrote this and it feels like you might have a control issue. A little bit. Is it just passion, maybe? Is it just passion? Is that all it is? Probably just passion, right? Probably just passion. Mitchell was given an officer role since he wanted to decorate the garden. This was a large house, so we had a huge garden. Lodge had decorated the middle floor and the top floor, and I was given the basement to decorate. I did a pretty good job of it. I made a great roleplay space with training rooms, a bar, a lounge for various groups to get together. Now, the garden, I'll admit, he did a good job. It was laid out nicely. But you know when someone is really, really proud of what they have done? Well, I suggested, more of a request really, that maybe we should just move this one bench. Just move this bench from where it is now to just over there. That's it. It was in the way. Free Company chat set on fire. First with Batch. Always quick to defend him. Can't let his feelings be hurt. And then Mitchell chiming in. It was a fucking mess. Me not understanding how they could be so upset over suggesting a bench move stood my ground. Now I'm quite stubborn. I don't think it's unreasonable to want a bench moved. In hindsight, I should have probably dropped it, but I didn't. I persisted. And it turned into a personal attack. They were happy to bring up that I had the whole basement to decorate, and I politely informed them that yes, if they wanted something added or changed there, I would consider it. At this point, I'm also feeling pretty underappreciated for all the effort I have put into this Free Company. I'm solo organizing, running public events, marketing the Free Company. I've made a Tumblr account. Other Free Companies are more appreciative of my efforts than my own Free Company, so of course I'm angry, and I'm ready to stand my ground about the fucking bench. Move the bench! Culmination of everything up to this point all boils over. They end up deleting the bench. They remove it completely. At this point, I am fucking done with these guys. Done. Try to save this failing, toxic Free Company from all my friends who was one of the founders back in the day. This lasted 2 hours. I wish I still had the logs I saved to send my friends to show her this bullshit. Creepy uncle and his conniving Ora, who does everything in her power to protect even the smallest of his feelings, can have their way. I wish I could say I quit the Free Company and did my own thing. Well, I did do my own thing. I started a new Free Company, a Magitech company, with someone I met in another Free Company. It ended up being quite popular as it happens, and we're doing well. So we're in talks to take over that huge Free Company house, since we're all actually doing something with it. And something I still kind of regret. We pushed for the house a little too hard. Okay, so I didn't want to push hard. I wanted to wait for the decision to be made. But peer pressure from the other two I was working with to bring the Magitech company to life forced me to start laying down some ultimatums to Lodge. Ultimatums I didn't want to give. It didn't work. I ended up having to leave. But I think that tale of breakdown is for another time. I feel like I've written enough. Maybe the time I was accused of being toxic and manipulative and trying to steal someone's house from them. I can believe it. I can't believe it. The moral of my tale, don't be too proud. If you're too proud of what you've done, don't criticize it. But do anyway, because people need to learn how to take criticism. Just be constructive. Don't be a dick. Peace and love and garden benches. Now, okay, yeah, I feel like... There's no judgment been asked for. There has been no judgment asked for here. But you do sound like you're very pushy. You want people to spend a whole week doing your roleplay games with their free gaming time. That's asking a lot. That's asking a whole lot. A full week of doing your games for hours and hours and hours, sat on a beach, not even enjoying yourself. You're not even enjoying yourself. You got that, right? Insurrection will not be tolerated. Oh my god. I don't know, a week? A week? Oh my god. Oh, thanks. I don't think so. Let's find out about mother. Be your mother. Yeah, to the author, fuck that. Yeah, I agree. I go to, look, this isn't me being cool, but we go to some pretty huge parties. And even then, 5 hours is a good amount of time to be there. Right? And that's with like thousands of people doing the absolute most ridiculous shit. Right? That's with a good portion of thousands of people doing absolutely bonkers shit. And 5 hours is kind of, even there, I'm going to be tired, right? Oh, it's Sai. Excellent. Oh, his eyes. Enos. Oh my god. Who are these people? Dutch? Jimmy Keg? Oh, we need a guild name. All right, we need a guild name, team. Live audience, we need a guild name. I don't know what role Bex has put you in for, Enos, but we'll see. Had the week in the game days, it would have been like 4 hours hating each other. That's debatable, but an IRL week is too much. For real. For real. Vorthree's boys. The garden benches. I'll take the garden benches. We'll take the garden benches. That's perfect. The garden benches. Okay, here we go. Hey, be your own mother. Richard chat, I hope this story finds its way into your drama time. I've been sub to your channel for years, and I've been binge watching some of Drama Time at work, and have motivated me enough to try and share my own little tale with you. I haven't been a long time watcher of Drama Time, but of the videos that I have watched, it's been drama on PC games such as World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. For my story, though, we need to go darker. We need to go into the real slime. I want to take you, even momentarily, to the realm of mobile gaming. Oh, Jesus. Can you even talk to each other on mobile games? I assume on some, right? Yeah, brace yourselves. We need to strap in for this. This could get real nasty. It could do. This is from a little game called Unison League. All right, we're checking. Unison League. Never heard of it. It's not Raid Shadow Legends, is it? Unison League. What is this? It's on iOS. Oh, God, it's Weeby. All right, I'm out. I'm out. Okay. Yeah. All right. Unison League, the God's Blessing. Yeah. Abort. The breasts are insane. Is she charging with her breasts? Is she sending? She walks into a room and then her face walks in 5 minutes after she's already entered, right? This is insane. We got a gameplay picture. There's just a lot of people in dresses pointing at things with big swords. It's for excess magic storage. Okay, all right. It looks like a little RPG game, I guess. For our audio listeners on Spotify, it looks like a typical sort of JRPG mobile game. That's what it looks like to me. That's what I get from it anyway. So we'll assume it's something like that, shall we? It's a gacha game. I mean, it's mobile. What do you expect? Now, I know that the thought of mobile games probably sends shivers up your spines and your chat to vomit. I actually don't play mobile games. I have none on my phone besides what my kids play sometimes. I have Bloons and Angry Birds, and that's for my kids. But in my opinion, mobile games can still be fun and still offer an outlet for times where a PC or console aren't readily available. Buy a Switch, dude. There's no time that's true. Stick a Switch in your pants. You can play on the shitter. Easy. And with the right game, you could still find some juicy drama. And the mobile game was the last place I thought I would bear witness to drama. A little backstory. I'm 25 years old, currently living in the meme state that is Florida, US of A. I like Florida. For tourism. I've been playing video games for almost my entire life. I've been a huge fan of Blizzard games, in particular the one that began all the stories, Warcraft 3, and World of Warcraft since its release. I live a somewhat poor life growing up. One of the many things that my parents couldn't afford to give us in particular was a smartphone. I was stuck with a Nokia flip phone all the way up until 8th grade in 2011. See, I predate all this. Like, a flip phone was giga cool when I was at school. A flip phone was giga cool when I was at school. Especially if you had that one for the Matrix that slid down. Oof. Oh, you were getting some pussy with that thing. That thing was just, oh, you could just go out in a nightclub with that thing and you were just like done. All the girls were pregnant. As soon as you clicked it down, whole room pregnant. Instantaneously. Oh, yeah, did you ever have that giant Nokia that had the buttons on the side and a fucking screen in the middle? That thing was good. That was cool. That thing was badass. It was a big brick. It had an MP3. And then yeah, the N-Gage, that was it. The N-Gage. That thing was badass. It had like an MP3 player in it and stuff. Wow. Yeah, baby. Even then, the new phone that my mother bought me at the time was a Samsung slide phone. Which model I honestly could not remember, but was honestly still kind of shit, especially as the years... I mean, that's what your mum could afford, man. Come on now. Still some kind of shit, especially as the years gone by, where almost everyone at school now had a smartphone. To my parents' eyes, as long as you can use it for being a phone or messages, then it's good enough. True, I still think that today with my kids. Sorry to tell you. Shortly before graduating high school, I decided to enlist in the United States Army in 2015, where I was finally able to purchase my very own smartphone. The iPhone 6S, after completing basic training. Being super excited for finally having a smartphone, I was glued to it for days, trying to learn all the things that I could do with it, especially finding games, mostly RPGs. Around springtime 2016, after spending weeks finding a potential game to invest myself in, I came across Unison League. At this time, I have been through several mobile RPG games, and those games have barely been able to keep my attention. Mostly because the majority of mobile RPG games revolve around automated gameplay where you press an auto button and the game plays itself. Now, you could argue that just don't use the auto button, but the auto feature would be the most efficient way to play the game. And why would we ever play games if we're not going to min-max? Yeah. See your point. The overall gameplay would still be horse shit without using it, and I could not make myself reach to whatever end those games offer to see if it gets any better. Unison League looked interesting enough on the Apple Store, so I downloaded the game and started playing. At the time, Unison League had 5 classes that you could choose from. The Soldier, the Tanker, the Tank class. The Lancer, the melee physical DPS. The Archer, physical ranged. The Cleric, the healer. And the Mage, the ranged man. Oh, these are very creative. Very creative classes in this game. I thought the Lancer's ability to break enemies to allow extra damage to be done to them would be fun. So I went Lancer. Side note, you're not stuck to... Are you trying to sell us this game? You're not stuck to a single class, so you're able to switch classes freely later on during the game. I created my character and set off into the world of Unison League. I played it for about an hour and then stopped. The game's features was locked in a way similar to doing the MSQ in FF14. You had to progress through the story to level up in the beginning, and certain story points would unlock additional content in the game. However, after a couple of months after not finding new RPGs, I came back to Unison League. This time, I decided to try and go for progress, as I could in the game, and see what does this beautiful game have to offer. After playing Unison League for a couple of months now, learning the game, leveling up, getting geared up, I thought I was ready to join a guild. Oh, you can join a guild? And take my Unison League journey to the next level. In Unison League, you can join a guild of up to 10 players. More on the 10-player cap later. Unison League has a social main hub to hang out in to potentially socialize with other players. While sitting in this hub, I spot a chat bubble appear above my screen. It was someone recruiting for their guild, for an activity called Battles. I was nervous at first to actually try and apply to their guild. I did not know what to expect from what appeared to be a serious guild environment. On a mobile phone? Oh shit. Woo! Things are getting real! Oh, it's getting real! What if I turned out I was too bad? What if I got removed for being a crap player? What if I said, fuck it. I must take a chance. Because whatever commitments to a guild on a mobile game could impose on me couldn't be as bad as what I'd already been through in World of Warcraft. Also, what's the worst that can happen? Kick me from the guild? Pfft. So I gave it a shot. I messaged the player, Honeycuddles, to join the Garden Benches. Honeycuddles was happy to receive my message to join their guild, and I was almost immediately invited. At the time, the Garden Benchers only had 5 other players. Me, Honeycuddles, the guild leader, Zarathenia, and 2 others. When I joined the guild, Honeycuddles messaged me saying that I needed to download a chat app called Line. Are they going to steal all your money? I honestly had never heard of this app before, but she explained that it was necessary as this is what the guild uses to communicate outside of the game. Well, I wanted that, obviously. I installed Line on my phone and was... Is it like WhatsApp? What is Line? Is it like WhatsApp? Is it like the Asian version of WhatsApp? Asian WhatsApp. Okay. I installed Line on my phone and was able to properly chat with everybody in the guild. I introduced myself, received warm welcomes for everyone. It didn't take long to learn that Honeycuddles, who is a lady, and Zai, a male, are actually an IRL couple that are currently in their senior year of high school. While typing this story after watching several Drama Time videos, this would have been a red flag. I mean, I don't know if... Does husband-wife guilds apply to every form of organized online gaming? Yes. Yes, it does. But at the time, I didn't care. I had been through my fair share of guilds back in WoW that had couples in the same guild together, or actually co-leading in every one of them. Always drama. But fun. So I chose to stick around as I felt like I needed more drama in my life at the time. But mostly because I just wanted to make some friends in Unison League. Cool things that I learned about Honeycuddles is that she actually does digital art as a hobby, and I would accept commissions of players within the game to create anime-like artworks of their characters. Could be legit. Might not be furries. Yeah, I feel the spiral. I feel us falling down into the abyss, step by step. It's always porn. It's always porn. Further down the road, she even made a couple of artworks of all our characters in the guild. I didn't know much about Zai, except that the character that he was playing with us on was basically an alt. He had a main, a big main, in a pretty high-end guild. Other things that I learned quickly was that he had an obsession of catbug and corgi butts. What's that? He had an obsession of catbug and corgi butts, and would sometimes post gifs of corgi butts when they walk. Is that dogs? What's catbug? Corgis are dogs. Is this dog butt? Like the dog? I think so. It's a cartoon character. Alright. I'm checking on our behalf. FBI, don't get me. Alright, catbug appears to be... Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, let me check corgi butt. Okay, there's a seemingly thing about corgi butts in the internet. Huh, I didn't need to know that. Okay. Yeah. That's weird. The 13 best corgi butts on Instagram. But as we suspected, it is the dog corgis and pictures of dog asses. Okay. Sure. Catbug is this. This is Catbug. Apparently it says things like, I'm Catbug. Appears to be a, yeah. That's Catbug. That is considerably less weird than Corgi Butt. Corgi Butt is, I don't know about that. Okay, let's go forwards. Yeah, let's push on. Okay. Sometimes he would post gifs of corgi butts when they walk. Zai pretty much gave us tips and guidance during his time playing. Another guy was quiet with everyone at first, but eventually opened up, talks a hell of a lot, and turns out he has some pretty dark, dirty humor. Oh, mobile phone guilds, eh? This has put me off. Now, 10 players may seem very small for a guild, And I believe it's 10 players because one of the main activities in Unison League is that you can participate in guild battles. In guild battles, you battle against other guilds, which can last up to 15 minutes. It also occurs 3 times a day, and you have the option to opt for one of 3 different battle schedules with different times to help suit the time requirements of your guild. In the battles, only 5 of your guild can be actively playing at a time, and these 5 are called the front line. The other 5 are called the backline. You can switch in with the backline at any time when they agree to switching with you as well. Now, I would explain more of how battles work, but it's not important to the story. The Garden Benchers was able to find enough players to fill the guild up for battles. We're ready to go. While being in the guild, I soon learned that there is actually a ranked version of battles that occur every 2 to 3 months, called ranked battles. Now, this is what most serious guilds prepared for every season. Ranked battles was the same thing as normal battles, but you got a ranking. And depending on your performance for the battle would get a score higher in the rankings. Now, the rank stuff is how you earn rank for your guild as a whole for the season, which was lasted over 2 weeks. The highest rank being S rank. It was Honeycuddles and Zai's dream to eventually have an S rank guild. Your ranking also determined the amount of ranking currency you would receive in order to buy more gear. Okay. I see where we're going. After a couple of months of being in the Garden Benchers, all of us within the guild actually started to get pretty good at friends with each other. There would be multiple nights where we would message each other for hours in the evening, going into the early morning the next day. I would sometimes even wake up to 1,000+ missed messages in the line group chat. There's 10 of you. Some of us even actually got to the chance to meet with some other members IRL, despite living a state or two apart. I was even able to meet Honeycuddles IRL, who was on a trip after graduating high school to Universal Studios in Florida, which was about 2 hours from where I lived. It was brief, but pretty wholesome moment for everyone to see in the guild. Mobile games sometimes would have in-game collaborations, which mostly involved popular anime shows. About a year after joining the Garden Benchers, Unison League had a collaboration event with an anime called Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? It's a really good anime. It's not good. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not. Okay. All right. I'm not trying to start an anime war. All right. This is just their opinion. I don't know it. I'm not getting involved. Okay. I'm not judging. I'm not ruling on this. I don't know anything about it. I'm moving on. The monetization method of Unison League, of course, was doing what they called summons, which is fucking loot boxes. Now, for those of you who are familiar with how these types of collaborations work, during the event, there are loot boxes that you can purchase that contain characters and/or armor and weapons based on the anime. And the items you receive from these loot boxes, while not always the best loot, were still very powerful. It's also important to mention for the following bit that in most mobile RPGs, the quality of gear is typically tiered by normal, rare, super rare, super rare, and ultra rare. Which pretty much all the high quality loot from loot boxes being super rare, and needed to be upgraded to reach ultra rare. On the first couple of days of the collaboration, the player base quickly noticed a bug, a glitch in the system. Apparently, a certain loot box option for the collaboration was yielding an abnormally high chance of super rare gear. So high, in fact, that out of the 10 pieces of loot, this is not a bug. This is you spending more money. They don't care what you get out of it. As long as you buy the fucking boxes. It's not only a bug, they expect you to pay way more than this. Okay, alright. Isaac's defending. I personally see all mobile games as scams, but Isaac's defending and he has experience. Okay. It was so high in fact that out of the 10 pieces of loot that you would receive per loot box, you were almost guaranteed at least 4 or 5 high quality super rare gear that could be upgraded to ultra rare. To add some context how significant this was, You would normally get one collaboration super rare gear after doing maybe 2 to 3 times 10 summons. So I assume that's 30 loot boxes. And this was some of the best gear at the time in Unison League. Needless to say, players were taking full advantage while they can. You see, during this time, the devs A-Team made a post on their official forum stating that they were aware of the bug and that the high rates of super rare loot from the loot boxes was unintentional and a hotfix would be coming in a couple of days. They also stated that with this huge influx of high quality gear that was being spread throughout the player base, they would also consider about what to do to fix the situation. Possible options that players were thinking was that they would do a rollback on everyone's character so they would lose all their gear they received during the event. Others thinking that doing a rollback would be ridiculous because what about all the money they had spent on the loot boxes? Would they get compensated? Well, about a week into the collaboration, where the bug was already fixed days prior, the A-Team announced the absolute worst case scenario to implementing a rollback. The player base was furious. So much so that if the rollback went through, A-Team would potentially kill their own game faster than Blizzard with the Shadowlands. Oh, Jesus Christ. Microsoft's coming. They're coming. So about 2 days after making the announcement, the A-Team decided to allow the player base to keep the loot that they received from the collaboration, and a rollback was not going to happen. However, the initial announcement of a rollback alone was enough to make some players quit, one of which was the cat bug corgi butt seeing Zai, our guild leader. Zai was too upset about the whole situation, despite A-Team changing their minds on doing a rollback, and quit the game, giving leadership over to Honeycuddles. I never really understood why he still quit the game when they ultimately decided not to go through with it. Either he's been looking for a reason to quit for a while, or perhaps it was on principle alone. Sometime after both Zai and Honeycuddles graduated high school, they broke up. Fortunately, Honeycuddles didn't allow her breakup to affect us within the guild, and after many failures, was able to reach S rank in Ranked. Now our goal, of course, was to maintain it. Along with myself and Honeycuddles was 5 other very committed members to the guild. After every ranked season, we would always have to find new members because they either became inactive or simply leave because they were done with the game after hitting what they wanted to do. Everything so far was going great in the garden benches. The conversation in our group chat was still lively, while also being able to maintain that sweet S rank. After some time, however, Honeycuddles decided she wanted to step down. Not necessarily quit, but her IRL obligations, now that she was starting college, became increasingly demanding, and she could not devote as much time to the guild, such as recruiting and making calls, as she used to. How much involvement is there in these mobile games? They actively need persistent daily leadership? Really? They do. Can be a lot. Jesus. I'm scared to even touch it, man. I'm terrified, right? I'm terrified. No one wanted to take on the responsibility of being guild leader, which was to be expected. I didn't want the guild to die for lack of leadership. I loved hanging out with everyone in the garden benches, despite being the one in the guild with the least amount of knowledge of the game. I decided if no one else will do it, I'll do it. Jesus. Now, I never really had any experience recruiting people. Not even in the many years that I have in continuing playing World of Warcraft. Honeycuddles explained that all I really had to do was spam. Okay, so some things don't change despite whichever format they take. Okay, all you need to do is spam and wait for guild requests, or by searching players from the looking for guild UI in-game. I can spam, I thought. I can spam really easy. Sounded easy enough. Despite not having any experience recruiting players for anything, I thought, what is the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen, guys? The end of 2016. Our guild was short 2 members for an upcoming ranked season. Time was running out for it when I started, and I needed to find people quickly. A player named Enos messaged me in-game saying that she is willing to join, but only if her boyfriend can come too. A package deal. But with the ranked season starting soon, I invited them in so we wouldn't be at a disadvantage with 8 players. Enos' boyfriend was named Dutch. As a way of getting to know new players better is that we request that they show us IRL pictures of themselves. Jesus. Why? I don't even know what Ross looks like. I have no idea. I know what half of you guys look like. Just as a way to put a face to a name. Of course, we didn't force them to do this, and the request isn't something that would be asked until several days after new players have already joined. Dutch's picture revealed him to be a goth guy. The full-on black hair that practically covered his eyes and eyeliner. I don't remember Enos's or Dutch's ages, but I would say that they were probably in their 20s. Dutch was an odd person. More odd than another of our members, Jimmy, and his dark humour. It had been years since this particular point in time, but the main thing that I do remember about Dutch was that he had an even dirtier, darker mind than Jimmy. Honey Cuddles took a screenshot of one of the conversations about creating porn titles about Keg, another committed female member in our guild. They had written entire fan fiction about Keg because they found out that she was a girl. Between Jimmy and Dutch, they had gotten quite creative and were actually suggesting putting these stories out, which is why they had been talking to Honey Cuddles. Look, I don't want to brag or anything, but this filthy fucking story we've written, worth publishing. Now, I know you have a Tumblr account. I'm just suggesting that we spread this with the world, alright? I have written unrequested pornography about this person, and I really do think we should get it out there. Dutch kind of not having a filter when it came to this kind of stuff. Most of the stuff he talked about in chat would be dirty in nature, and Enos would just let it happen if I recall correctly. At least with Jimmy, he didn't go too far with the jokes or banter. I'm pretty sure Keg has become pretty used to reading conversations like these at this point. Oh, then it's fine. Because of Jimmy jokingly always hitting on her. But we all understood that we're just having some fun banter, and it is what it is. Oh, that's fine then. As long as it happens all the time, then I can see how it's not a problem now. Right? Yeah. Is anybody tempted to join a mobile guild now? Anybody tempted? Anybody want to get in there? I'm going to pass myself. I'm not joining a Bloons guild. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I know that there'll be good ones. I just want to point that out there. But this has not helped my situation. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's near the end of our ranked season when I and the other guild members have noticed that Enos and Dutch have not been talking. Like at all. During our ranked battles, I would host a voice call online to make call-outs for everyone, and neither of them had been joining it. We knew that Enos and Dutch were a couple, and when some of us inquired about if everything was okay, only Enos would reply with something like, "Tell you about it later, mate. Can't talk. Tell you later." We knew something had happened. We didn't pry. Dutch was one of the most talkative members in our guild at the time and has been dead silent for a couple of days now. Ranked was over and we successfully maintained our S-rank guild rating. I have the date for you here. Finally, on January 23rd, 2017, I receive a direct message from Enos Online stating, "Just so you know, he was cheating on me." I was shocked. I responded, "How did you find out?" Enos replied, "It was my mother." I said, "Oh, your mom found out?" Enos then sent me the screenshots of her mother's phone of the conversation that she was having with Dutch. Oh, God, you've written it. Oh, God, you've given me a transcript. Great. That's awesome. Now, you don't need to read this on Drama Time, Mike, because this conversation is super cringe. But this is the conversation that took place. The images from the screenshots are below. Okay. Note from Bex. There was 3 pages of this. 3 fucking pages. I have cut the majority out of drama because you're not reading that. Not even chat deserves to see the details. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, thank you, Bex. I appreciate it, Bex. But you read the 3 pages, I assume, Bex. You read the whole thing. Alright. This is from the mother. Kisses your cheek next to your mouth again and cuddles. Dutch, I love you too. One of these days you'll steal a kiss on the lips from me. Mother says, I'm scared to. Last time you hurt me. Dutch says, I can restrain that after knowing how much it hurt, but don't think I'll take it lightly. Mum says, okay. Dutch says, I'll give you a free one to prove I won't hurt you. Mum says, okay. Dutch says, would you like it now? Mum says, sure. I don't speak this language. Does this mean they fucked? Or is this, like, online kisses? Bex? It got explicit? Okay. Okay. Bex is very disturbed. Very explicit. Okay. DM full story, please. Oh, no. That's grim, man. You really want to know the real kicker? Dutch and Enos never met in person. Basically just e-dating. It still blows my mind to this day. How the fuck has Enos' mother even come into contact with Dutch in the first place? I was so curious that I tried to ask, but she didn't want to answer. Brava. Brava. That's sick. That's gross. I have so many questions. I really do. I really have so many questions that I need the answers. I really do. It is terrible, and I'm really sorry for you, but, like, how did it happen, though, right? Apparently, this little event didn't keep them from both leaving the guild. During our normal guild battles, it always turned out that one or the other would be participating at any time. They pretty much decided to just ignore and try to avoid each other as much as possible. I eventually ended up removing them from the guild because of some tech issues they were having at actually being able to take part. That was at least the reason that I provided to Enos as I scrolled back to my DMs with Enos online when she asked why I removed her and Dutch from the guild. After I removed them, I quickly shared the screenshots with the rest of the guild, and they were all laughing their asses off. You dick. Why did you kick him? Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You never guess what was going on. I pretty much made a rule for myself at that point to no longer recruit couples, despite the potential amusement that it may bring. This is the end of my little tale, Mike. Thank you for taking the time to read it. I hope it was entertaining for you and your audience. About a year later after this event, I eventually decided that I was done with Unison League, along with our other committed members of the guild. We were just generally burnt out and lost the drive to continue playing. Most of us tried to keep in touch every now and then, mainly me, Honeycuddles, Jimmy, and Keg, even to this day. There was also gradual power creep over the game that I've been playing, so that was annoying to have to always keep up. Unison League also made me no longer want to spend... Oh, God, are you going to tell us how much you spent on this game? I'm going to be sick, aren't I? Unison League also made me no longer want to spend any more money on mobile games because of how much I spent on this game. I didn't keep track of it. Any guesses? Any guesses? It's not super bad. It's not super bad. It's not like something that would end up on the news bad. Yeah, you're pretty close there. You're pretty close. Yeah. It was definitely around $1,500 in 2 years. I moved on to another game called Arknights, which I've been playing for almost 2 years now without spending a single dollar. But I've been enjoying playing it very much. Another thing that I learned is that if any of you ever feel like you didn't experience enough drama for these funny, cool stories, just get yourself a leadership position amongst a group of people and drama will come your way. Thank you, Preach, and have a wonderful day. Arknights wasn't bad. He said he's not spent any penny on Arknights. I don't think this was the best advert for Unison League, though. I don't think we did the best there. But now we know about Corgi Butts. So that's information that we all now have, and we can share in our most wonderful ways. Now we can all dream of it. Man, I am wiped. Absolutely wiped after what has been just the most ludicrous day. I'm so glad we got to where we wanted to be. Shadowbringers is finished. Enjoy the VOD if you're going to be there. I'm going to send you on your merry way because I just see Mr. Nobble is reaching the end of Heaven's Ward. Thank you, Tyrex. Just saw the video of the Amulet reveal and it made my week. Yeah. If anybody is okay with Shadowbringers spoilers, it was a culmination of many, many things. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for one of the best days in streaming I've ever had. I'm now going to go drill holes in my office walls. All right. I'll do my closing thoughts once I've actually considered it. I haven't even considered it, you know? I really haven't. It's been too much today. It's been way too much in every aspect. So, be good. I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.